very good afternoon to you from Adisawe, Kanda. You're tuned into TV3. This is Hot Issues and I am Nuong Falong. On our seat today we have a senior citizen who prides himself as a security expert. He has been twice a chief of defense staff. And if you've already guessed it, yes, we have Brigadier Joseph Nunoo-Mensah. Brigadier, you retired as a one-star general.
Yes.
Years ago.
Yes.
You were the chief of defense staff.
Yes.
Have you seen any improvement in the welfare of women and men in uniform in this country?
Let me go back and make a few comments about being retired and being a one-star general.
Okay.
Today there are 3 stars. I was 1 star, and I served 2 terms. Why 2 terms and you retired as a 1-star general? And that goes to explain my background. That in the army you take orders. Sometimes when the order doesn't make sense to you, you question it.
So,
and it's not normal to question the order. It's not order's an order. But I'm somebody who will not take something which I know to be wrong. I will question it. And the army, you don't make too much noise. You don't question. You obey orders.
so
and when
you
question,
didn't really conform.
I didn't conform. And you become a burden to many people.
That's a good run, Brigadier.
Yes.
During your time, were there any 2- and 3-star generals?
Before me, there was. Because General Akufo, I don't know that you may not know, because these are the people who were executed in 1979, following the June 4th uprising. General Akufo was a 3-star general, the French General Akufo. And then there were many generals here all over the place. General Odati Wellington, Kote, Utuka, there were 2-star generals. But you see, we are all not the same. We are unique. No 2 people, not even identical twins, are the same.
So how did you become chief of defense staff, considering that you had seniors ahead of you?
Well, no. These people were murdered, were actually executed.
So was it because they were executed?
No, there was no other senior officer ahead of us.
So after they were executed, the way was...
Well, it was not because of me that they were executed. I mean, there was a massive revolution. I'm sure you read about it. 40 years ago, 1979. June 4th, it wasn't a revolution. It was really what I would call a mutiny. Rising against authority, established authority. A very frightening thing. We are talking about coup these days, but this wasn't a coup. It was more frightening than a coup. And almost all the senior officers were put together and executed. You know, one thing died at Nima police station, not far from here.
So there was an absence of a senior officer, and
yes,
so you
in fact,
became
I was the most
CDS.
senior officer. One of the most senior. There were 3 or 4 brigadiers. Today there are more than 100 and over. You know, but so one of them had to be appointed, and I was appointed among the few that were around at the time. But I should have been promoted to Major General and Lieutenant General. But you see, when you are that noisy, that non-conformant, you suffered the consequences.
So you were once a national security advisor.
I was.
When you look at the time you served,
Yes.
what would you say is your greatest feat?
2009, President Mills became a president, and I had assisted him on a very small scale, but he called me and said, "Yena, Abom, about AMETEPE." And I told him, "Look, Mr. President, may I say you all my life, so the best I can do is where I've been properly trained in the area of security. It's okay, but I'm a security advisor. Now, what have you achieved? Going and arresting people for staging the coups and so on, as is the norm today, is not the main job. Your main job is to stop people from complaining. So
Mills appreciated you?
Of course he did.
But when Mahama came, he changed you.
They changed because...
What do you think about that?
When you are very tough, you see, people don't like handling tough people. Trump, he has changed everybody in the security who are tough. And I'm not going to soften for you.
So you were too tough for Mahama?
I'm too hot to handle. Too hot to handle. There's the problem. I see, and I live by the truth. And I would never lie, even if I were gone to my truth. I would never lie.
So let's be very clear over there. You were saying you were changed by Mahama because you were too tough for him to handle, or too hot for him to handle?
I didn't see the need for the changes that took place when President Mills passed on. There was no need. It's like taking over Black Stars and then immediately changing Asanwaja, everybody.
Were you happy about the changes?
Of course, I wasn't happy. Not for my own sake. I thought it hurt Ghana. It hurt the NDC and it hurt Ghana as well. But you got a bunch of good people.
Is this a feeling you still hold against John Mahama?
No, I'm not against him per se. But Ghana is suffering today because our leaders don't take advice. Not only him, all our leaders, even the great Nkrumah, you find this everywhere. I mean, Trump is doing the same thing. Cameron is doing the same thing. Boris Johnson is the same thing in Britain. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with our leaders. When we get power, the power corrupts. The absolute power corrupts absolutely. You think that so I'm almost next to God.
Still in connection
yes.
with John Mahama?
Yeah, I'm coming there.
Because it's because he changed you. We're having this conversation.
No. I want to be very open here. I don't fear. At 82, what do you fear anymore? I mean, all my friends are gone. I keep on burying them, so there are very few left. If I go tomorrow, it's my time to go. But let's live and speak the truth. Speak what we believe in. And what I believe in may not be hurting to me alone, but when I'm with you, it's hurting Ghana. Today, look
Would
at
you say he doesn't listen to us?
No, look at Ghana today. Look at this. Look at the confusion in Ghana. Whether the TACKIE girls or the by-election, I also West Wugon and all the confusion. Because you've got people who don't know what they're about, who don't understand their work. And we have put them there for political expediency, and they're messing up. And Ghana is suffering for that reason. And it's all a combination of all these factors are creating all the havoc we are having today.
But if you were that competent and that good, why would Mahama change you?
You see, it's not always the people who are competent are the best people that politicians want.
So Mahama didn't want
they
a
want
competent
people
person?
that will sing their praises, that will total, that will lie down for them. But I'm too tough, I'm too stubborn, I'm too principled. And for that reason, I've suffered a lot. And I started suffering long ago, but it doesn't hurt me. See, life is all the world is a stage, and all the men and women.
So you think Mahama changed you because you were too principled?
No, not only me. Don't make that mistake. It was a general clearing of the house. All the staff that President Mahama left behind, people like Mr. Gbeho, Nunoo-Mensah, who was his President Mills' secretary. All these key people, very experienced people, all very the chief of staff at the time. These were people who have acquired years of experience. You can't get me for what I have done and say I know nothing. I don't like talking about myself, but let's not only stand here, but I was the first to go to Canada to train in 1968. Spent a year in India, a part-time in Russia now, and we were at the time of Nikita Khrushchev. And you don't see this man is stupid, he's idiot. He's not. Mr. Gbeho was a top civil servant, many of them. And all this, you clear the house. Now what you are doing, you are cutting your nose to spite your face. You see, but I'm not surprised.
Did Mahama cut his nails to spite his face?
What happened to him in 2016 election?
You think he lost because of some of these changes?
In the army, when you go to war, and the general loses the war, he takes the blame. You see, let us learn to behave like the white people. We are trying to become like the white people.
How do they behave?
They are principled. They are principled. I was in Britain in 1962.
Is Mahama principled?
Our leaders are not principled. A few of them, not.
Namely?
Let me go to President Mills, whom I say and I love. Is somebody, he needed nothing in the world. He used to call me like you and I are sitting down. And we talk. He said, President, I said, General, when you feature him, we experience. The man is even on there. He seeks your opinion about so many things, not only about military matters. But you know that being that experience, you've seen and done so many things. You want to tap that knowledge. That's the most important. And all the team that he surrounded himself with, whether it's Secretary, Mr. Nunoo-Mensah, or Mr. Newman, these were very experienced people. So the knowledge you get, you are a powerful or good president, not because of you yourself, but the team.
As a former national security advisor, look at the state of security in the country right now.
Yes.
Do you like the state of security?
No, I don't like weep. Sometimes I just sit down and I say, how can Ghana become like this?
How has Ghana become?
What happened? Why and how? We're talking about TACKIE girls, talking about the Iowa West Wugon election. We're talking about a so-called attempted coup. These are all funny things.
Let's stay on that, the TACKIE girls.
Yes.
When you look at the kidnappings of the TACKIE girls and also the series of murders we have had of policemen, is that a normal security situation?
No, it's a real abnormal. And I'm not explaining to you why we are where we are. You see, when you don't have competent people, when you keep on changing them, you come to power and you clear the table. You don't remember, maybe it's too noisy. I mean, it makes so much noise. Clear him, bring a new man there. You bring an incompetent person because it's a party person, you know, and you don't have expertise, you don't have knowledge behind you. Well, this is what happens. Whenever these girls, I'm not saying that disappearance of these girls is something extraordinary. The Chibok girls in Nigeria, up to now, many of them, 5 years now, they haven't found them. It's a very difficult problem.
But do you think we handle the case professionally?
No, this is what I'm saying, that the people that handle the case, see, they lack expertise, they lack knowledge. And it's because we have been clearing the table every time.
You think the CID lacks expertise and knowledge?
What I'm saying, that, look, when in criminal's time, you see people there. I mean, I come to meet people. You can see that the gray hair that I have, I mean, I used to fear them. Oh, gray hair everywhere. That gray hair was not acquired just like that. It was based on experience. So the institutional memory, you know what happened. Then they learn, you know. So I'm saying here that the way the case was handled was very bad. Professionally. I'm not saying that the guy being kidnapped is the fault of the government, but subsequently, how you handle the case, how you show expertise, how everybody gets up and saying something which is not authentic. They would just open their mouth and say something. Before you open your mouth and say something, you must know what you are saying. And not everybody can open their mouth and say anything.
Is there a specific person you're referring to?
I'm talking about, for example, the TACKIE girl, the CID boss. I don't know her. And I don't have any political affiliation. In these matters, you know, I'm for Ghana. I love the country so much so that I'm not a party political.
You have any professional advice for her?
No, what I'm saying is that I resigned in 1982. I mean, among my record, I resigned in 1982 after the murder of the. I don't know whether you were around 82. Were you around? The 3 judges were abducted and murdered brutally, an army officer. I was a member of the government at the time, the PNDC. And I said, how can we belong to a government among whom comes murderers? Tomorrow, how does your grandchild explain that his father was also among murderers? But talking about what should happen to the CID board, and I resigned.
What should happen? What do you think should happen to her?
I'm telling you, what I did is what she should do. I didn't resign because I had a hand in the killing of the judges. So she didn't have a hand. But you take responsibility for what goes wrong under your watch. That is why I'm saying to you that when generals lose a war in a battle, they are removed. When you lose a campaign, you are president, and you lose a campaign, you don't come back and say, I'm coming back. Your time is finished. You know, so I'm telling the commissioner of police that it's about time she jumped. If she didn't jump, she will push to go.
We're still talking to Brigadier Joseph Nunoo-Mensah, and he's telling us to take responsibility. When you make a mistake, you take responsibility for it, and you resign. You're still watching Hot Issues on TV3. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Hot Issues on TV3. My name is Nunoo-Mensah. We still have in the studio Brigadier Joseph Nunoo-Mensah. There was a lot of conversation around, and the Ministry of Information released a communique about an attempted overthrow of the government. Did you hear about this? I heard. I
think it was the most unfortunate statement to make.
You think the Communication Ministry erred in making that statement?
First of all, we mess up with everything that's happening in Ghana. But we, the politicians, if this coup attempt was being handled by the security elements, the BNI, the military intelligence and whatnot, you leave it to them. But how did the politician come in to announce? Was he part of the team which was investigating the attempted coup?
Well, the team makes the disclosure to them.
Yeah. But then after you've actually come up to Ghanaians that attempt was made to overthrow the government, you charge them, and there's no, I didn't see within the charge anything to do with high treason, which is what the coup is.
The main charge.
Yes, if you are going to overthrow a government, it's high treason.
But we understand the charges could change.
But the point I'm making is that when I look at the characters who were paraded to staging a coup, these are not coup makers. These are.
What does a coup maker look like?
A coup maker look like if you go back to see when you see the FBI actor, SBATA, the 7 April 17th attempted coup. When you see this brave young man with a force behind him, he had a small force of armored regiment behind him. He had teeth arm. He had like saying that you want to make me palm soup, but there's no palm. How do you make a soup? You don't have anything. People produce some reference, produce some locally made rifles, whatever. They're going to make a coup. Are you going to seize TV3, seize Radio Ghana, seize Radio Gold? Now they also know more. Or seize them. What are you going to do? These were jokers. He said, you don't come and tell Ghanaians a serious matter like this, announce as if something terrible is going to happen. And then, if it's going to happen, at this stage, you should have all the evidence. I've been out of military intelligence before, in the 70s. You don't go and announce that the coup d'etat is in the making when you haven't got all the facts.
So you think the information ministry erred?
They hurried too much. He himself hasn't seen a coup before. I don't think, if you are 50 years old, you haven't seen a coup before. The last coup was 40 years ago. At least if you are 10 years old, you'll be 50 today. And he's not 50. I know he's not 50 yet. So, but you don't go and announce things and frighten people, you know, disturb our peace. You know, tell the world Ghana is not safe because we are still in the way of, in the realm of making coups. These are things that you joke with. Before you say this,
is a coup impossible today?
What do you want to say? A coup? What is a coup? What is a coup? People say coup. What is a coup? Coup is a violent overthrow of the government, of the state. It's a high treason. And civilians can never, by themselves, organize a coup. They have to entice some military men to join them. And that this will expose you to be arrested.
So you're saying we need heavy military involvement to be able to succeed?
If we are going to use guns, who are going to use the machine guns and the mortars and whatnot? Military. So those people that they showed on TV are planning to overthrow the government. There was no way they could overthrow a government. They could play the fool.
But the statement said some officers were involved.
Have they been produced?
Well, we haven't seen their faces.
But why haven't they charged them if they were involved and also put them before court like we did with the civilians? You see, we must behave in a way that will look credible. We are a serious country in a serious world. You can't be saying anything and think you can get away with it. I had handled coup makers before, you know, and in the process of collecting intelligence, you collect so much information. Now, when I say that, Mommy, you are plotting a coup, there's no way you can deny it because the evidence is clear before you. You see, but you cannot follow people for 1.5 years. So I hear, and then you say, we have the evidence. Then put the evidence in court, then you are hedging the evidence. I mean, it's not right.
So when you say military intelligence, what role exactly would the military intelligence have played in foiling a coup?
Military intelligence, I mean, I was head of the military intelligence. You are, like the CIA, like the KGB, you have networks within the military. So whatever the military make moves, if you are working well, you will hear it. And they are the key people factor in staging a coup, the military. I know many people in our Champions time came to persuade military officers, I won't mention their names here, to stage a coup. They came to me, some bought loads of CDs and cocoa sacks. You don't need CDs to go and stage a coup. And they brought the money to my office as the head of military intelligence. So I knew how a coup, they can never do it by themselves because how could they have gone to stage a coup? Seize what? Airport, President Kubade's house, do what? Seize the TV3, GBC. How? How does the coup look like? You think that you can make Ghana a better place. The army thought that 66, having a move in Nkrumah, they can put a better administration into place and Ghana will become better.
So coups are staged because
the people who stage the coup believe that the government is being run badly. They can do it.
So they want to make a change.
They're going to make a change. But they have shown that they have become, worse things have happened. Why can't you join? Why can't you find a political party, go to a normal process, and also challenge them, win election, and change Ghana?
Brigadier,
yes,
retired.
Yes.
Having established that coups are secondary to an ailing economy.
Yes.
What do you make of the economy of Ghana today?
The economy of Ghana since 1966 has taken a dive. Before independence, I was in school. We never met in school 1951 onwards. When Nkrumah arrived, and I saw Nkrumah the first time in 51. He came to Winneba about March or thereabout. And the feeling was one of big change. The feeling was one of a new country. Even the young ones were really, and our mothers, everybody was mad with the change that was coming. Then the change came, 6th of March. And we saw Ghana moving like a big ship across Sombo Dam, TACKIE Harbor.
So the change was positive?
Was positive. I mean, this road from Accra to Winnipeg wasn't there. All this began to happen. You know, and then, so they saw the change. The factory here, I was once chairman of Georg, the steelworks, pharmaceuticals. Now every drug is imported. Why we had the factory there which will be making the drugs? We now import everything. We talk about the economy being bad. When we're importing everything.
We do have some pharmaceutical companies in Ghana.
Yeah, but Georg was a big one. And Nkrumah wanted to start up the infrastructure, the base. When I build a big house, like Ghana was going to build, you look at the education. There were only a few secondary schools. And Nkrumah created about more than 12, 50 secondary schools. Winnipeg was a port. I had to go and carry cocoa and cement to make money to pay my school fees. Tama Harbor came. So you could see, Akos Lombo was in the making. Straight fair. Down go to the city, it's like hell. So you could see Ghana rising. You could feel it. You can feel it. Then came the coup. There was a attempted coup on Nkrumah in 1958. But you know, then attempts were made on Nkrumah. I'm not talking as Nkrumah's apostle. I'm not apostle of Nkrumah, but I'm just telling you what I saw and believed they were right. You know, I wasn't a member of the CPP.
So you're saying the state of the economy now
the way it was, and then coming back to this, then Nkrumah was overthrown. We began to dismantle all the positive things. That was the saddest aspect of Nkrumah. Black Star Line. Today, if you had Black Star Line working, all our things coming from abroad are in foreign ships. Many young people will be working the Black Star Line in Tema. Ghana Airways, Ajari, Dokunu. This were young. I was in Britain and saw young Ghanaians piloting the VC-10, a jet plane. And you were very proud that the black man could manage his own affairs. That all disappeared. It all vanished away. You know, Aboso Glass Factory, the rubber factory at Bonsa rubber factory. We were taking off, like a plane taking off, gathering speed, and the engine is put, then the plane came to a halt. And we are in at a halt. We haven't taken off again.
So are the fundamentals weak?
When we dismantle it, the president is trying to talk about establishing factories, every district, every one factory. They were there, we destroyed them. You can't do anything. How can you find the money to go and build them? So today we can't feed ourselves. So we can't build the roads.
So you're saying today's
we can't build school for our children.
Is today's economy weak?
From what I'm gathering, make your own conclusions. The children, there's free education. Go and see what the children are studying. Go and see what we can't build structure for them. You can't build. In my time, it wasn't any better. But we had teachers who were committed to us. We had teachers who were not paid, but they were committed to teaching us. So there's no commitment. Teachers, look, you are selling schools for your children at Flagstaff Square. And mothers were running around like headless chicken looking for school for their children. That's how you build a modern Ghana. Don't blame the president alone. Don't blame President Akufo-Addo alone. Many things he has to do right. Many things his ministers have to do right.
Is Akufo-Addo doing right?
Many things. Many things. You, me, all of us have to wake up and build Ghana. Today we're talking about making Ghana the cleanest city in Africa. You go to Kantamanto. I walk on the street. You go and see. Go to see Kolebu. Go to Lavender Hill. You know what's called Lavender Hill?
Is Akufo-Addo running the country right?
No. You see, when the minister tells you that they're going to attempt to coup, what he's saying to me and you that they are not running the country right.
Let's see.
No, I'm just coming. This is what he says, because people who do coups announce nepotism, there's inefficiency, all kinds of things against the government. So if the Minister for Information telling us, you and me, that people were attempting to overthrow the government, he's telling you in effect that they're not running the country properly. Well, if the country running properly, how should anybody overthrow that country, that government? But if it's being run properly, why should anybody in right mind overthrow the government, which is run beautifully? If the people who go to school, who go to Blacktown Square to pay for their children, run around without schools. Yes.
You made some interesting comments about former President John Dramani Mahama.
Yes.
You indicated that the changes he made and surrounding himself with inexperienced people was part of...
Hurt him.
It hurt his chances
it hurt him heavily.
Of becoming president.
Yeah, it hurt him, and he must take responsibility for that.
Do you think he stands a chance in 2020?
I'm not, Ghanaians will tell, not me. But it hurt him. It hurt him, and it hurt his party. And I'm saying to you, today, in Britain, I was in Britain, promised I'd resigned in Britain. They don't come back. Mrs. Clinton lost the election to President Trump. She didn't come back. What I'm saying to you, let's say when you lose a battle, what do a leader of a team, and anything goes wrong, you take moral responsibility for their defeat.
So you keep saying when the leaders lose, they need to take responsibility, retire or step back.
No,
are you saying President Mahama shouldn't come back?
I'm coming there. When you blame yourself for the defeat.
And then what do you do?
Then you say, I'm going to come back and right the wrong, which I did. Then you have a what do you call it? A committee, Dr. Kwesi committee. They come back with the reason for your defeat. Then we sit on them, but they're not palatable. We don't run things like that.
The reasons for the defeat are
yes,
not palatable.
you must take blame.
So should he come back?
No, but if you don't, why I lost? I failed. If I lost, I did professional exam. I lost one subject. I risked that exam without knowing why I failed. How can I go and risk it? You have to re-examine yourself. But the issue of going to re-examine yourself is something which will make you healthy. In fact, should make the party healthy.
So should he come back or not?
I've told you. I've said it openly. But he's back. Maybe it's too late now to go back.
Would you prefer if he went back?
If I were him, I would never come. I would never do. Look, I retired the chief of defense staff at age 42. I've never tried to come back. I've never. Ghana is moving forward. What you should do is to position yourself to help your party to look at Britain, Cameroon, and so on. Look at what's happening, but let's learn lessons from what's happening. They're not going to come back. Theresa May is not going to come back, and Boris Johnson is messed up things, but he's not going to come back and say, well, I'm coming back. No. Let the party sort themselves out. You have generals who fought a war. The general lost a war. They are replaced. You don't readjust them and bring them back.
General, a lot of people say you are an NDC member. Are you a card-bearing member of the NDC?
I've been a card-bearing member of the MPP. I stood for MPP in 1996.
Are you a card-bearing member of the NDC?
I've never. President Mills, yes, I keep on, people say you are a political flirt. I'm not a flirt. I just want Ghana well.
Which party do you belong to right now?
No party. My party is Ghana.
Which party are you going to vote for?
Which party? I'll decide when the time comes.
In 2020, which party are you voting?
We are still a few months to go. But, many Ghanaians are actually so dejected that they are saying they wouldn't even vote. No, this is a very short.
Will you vote, General?
I vote.
Will you vote in 2020?
I will vote.
Who will you vote for?
Oh, but it's a long way. A week is a long time in politics. Said a man called Harold Wilson. A week is a long time. If somebody did something, to be honest with you, to talk about politics.
But you don't like the way the economy is being run.
No. The way Ghana is being run.
You also do not like President Mahama's time in office. So who are you going to vote for in 2020? Because it's going to be President Akufo-Addo against John Dramani Mahama.
To be honest with you, very honest with you, this country needs a third force, a third party.
Are you willing to be that third force?
Yes, I'm actually involved in. You see, I don't think the way we are going will save this country.
The NDC and the Electoral Commission do not have a very cordial relationship. Do you think this will affect the outcome of the elections in 2020?
No, they don't have any relationship with anybody, with Asantini, with Achini, with everybody. Blame everybody for their problems. Don't blame those people there. I know, Madam, the lady in charge of Untitled Commission, Mensah. What's his name? It's
Madam Jean Mensah.
Jean Mensah. I know her. She's a wonderful woman. I mean, I don't know why anybody quarrel with her. I don't know why anybody or her predecessor. But when you can't carry her weight, then you blame somebody. Don't blame
you know her
them.
very well, and there's no reason anyone will have an issue with her.
No, I don't have any problem.
How do you rate her competence?
What I'm saying is that if anything goes wrong, don't blame the messenger. Blame you yourself. I mean, if you don't have a message for Ghanaians and you lose power, NDC lost power, in power. They were in power, lost power. And blame who? Blame the Electoral Commission. Or we keep on blaming people for what is not their fault. Let's look at ourselves. What have we done wrong? And don't blame somebody. You keep on blaming. You said something on the air in America. So don't blame. That might be wonderful. I've had personal relationship with these people, like something. And I thank God for his life.
So you think the NDC is just looking for someone to blame?
To blame, yes, but themselves. They have done many things wrong. And they wouldn't look at themselves and say, let's fix things properly. And blaming the Electoral Commissioner blaming blaming somebody for what they said. It is wrong. Don't blame me. Blame yourself.
Thank you, Brigadier. It's been a good time having you on the show. Thank you.
And thank you. God bless Ghana.
And that was Brigadier Joseph Nunoo-Mensah. He has a message for the NDC. Don't blame people around you, blame yourselves. You've been watching Hot Issues on TV3. Join us again next week, same time. Good afternoon.